Okay, so welcome back everyone to Giving Gap TV. This is yet another wonderful conversation in our Year of the Auntie series. We are here with TeQuion Driscoll, who is the president and CEO of the Minority Freedom Community Fund. She reached out recently to be a part of this conversation, and we're really excited because this conversation is centering women who are often standing in the gap in their communities and their families, often ones to be uh, responsible for moving resources, helping folks out uh, if they're part of the community or even, by blood. And they're often the people that are the first philanthropists in our lives. And so we're honoring these women, and that's what this series is all about. So, TeQuion, thank you so much for reaching out. We're going to just start off with something simple, which is what do you think about when you hear the word auntie? What does that mean to you?
Wow. So I just want to be transparent in the moment that I am literally fighting back tears right now. As I mentioned before, I didn't do my homework because I'm in the midst and the thick of being an auntie right now for the next several weeks. But the way that you framed that, and it just resonated with me so very much. And I would really mimic a lot of what you just said. You know, for me, I had the honor and the privilege of having the world's most amazing aunts that really helped my parents in not only, the mandatory taking care, make sure an adult is watching your kid, but just telling me and teaching me about life in their own way. And all the things that your parents probably wanted you to wait until adulthood for, they just told you a little earlier,
A little earlier.
and so for me, part of why I show up as an auntie in community is because of the legacy that my aunts, so my parents, their sisters were both best friends in high school. And so, growing up, I had the pleasure of, being aunted by two best friend aunts on top of that. So you could just imagine
Yes.
all of the synergies, all of the fun we had with that. But for me, it really is about standing in the gap, as you said, and really guiding, being that friend to the young people in the community, and really telling them like it is. Parents, they have more requirements on what they should and should not do, right? And I feel like aunties operate in that gray area where they can, keep it a little bit more real with you, but also will love you like a parent and laugh with you like a best friend. And so it really is a huge honor, and a privilege to serve in this capacity, for community, especially.
Absolutely. That's very powerful what you said because my niece described it as a hybrid role. She was like, it's a little bit of parent, it's a little bit of sibling, it's a little bit of bestie, all sort of rolled in one. So I love that. Um, just thinking back, do you remember the moment where you're like, I'm really somebody's auntie, whether it was even, to an actual niece or nephew, or even just in the community sense?
The moment, oh my goodness. I'm sure that there was a moment, but I remember several like moments even more recently where it was
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
wow. So one moment is a little bit more practical. So I got married in December, and
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
actually an only child, so I don't have any siblings. But my cousins, all of their kids are my babies. Those are my, and they call
Yeah.
me auntie, even though they don't quite yet
Yeah.
understand how that works, right? And so when I got married, my husband has siblings and he has a nephew. And
Okay.
so it was Christmas or Thanksgiving, one of the holidays, and he went to go hug me and he was like, "Okay, Auntie, it was good to see you." And I was like my heart just like sank in my stomach. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm really a real auntie, not
I
just like
love
a
it.
title that people give me." So that was one that stands out more recently. But I think it shows up the most when I'm working with young people. So prior to me running my own camp, I had been a consultant to other nonprofit organizations and a community volunteer, civic leader. And so volunteering with people with youth programs. And anytime, for example, I was doing an event, producing an event that had youth, I take it so extremely seriously. I'm checking on how they're feeling, what they're thinking. And so a lot of times I would, like, if there was a youth that had to speak, for example, I would pull them to the side, find out, okay, you want to practice with me? Are you
Yeah.
nervous? Here's some tips. Whatever you're going through, do you need to pray? Do you need me to distract you? Do you need me to help you and make you feel like whatever it is? Or if I see that they're struggling with their attire, hey, do you need me to go to the store and get you some flip-flops? Do you need some edge control? Are you like, what do you need, okay, in this moment to feel whole and to feel ready? And so having the young people come up to me and seek that support is, I think, another example of the moments where I'm like, wow, I really am an auntie.
I love that. I love that. So, speaking of those experiences, what's something that you hope your niece, nephew, or even community feel or experience when you're with them? What's something you hope they walk away with?
That's a beautiful question. So, yesterday, I conducted a workshop for them around healthy coping skills.
Okay.
And part of the exercise at the end, the conclusion, they had to develop their own personal coping plan.
Oh,
So,
nice.
like, what happens? How do I know that I'm experiencing stress or overwhelm? And what are the things I'm going to do? And then, what are the people that I trust? And where are the places and spaces that I feel safe? And one of the young people said, when he was sharing out with the group, like he listed our program as a place where he feels safe. And oh my goodness, it was so much going on yesterday. But when he
Yeah.
said that, I said, oh, okay, y'all got
Wow.
me.
Yes.
Every day, y'all get me because I be this close to like, oh my goodness. But every day they just remind you and they center you. Sometimes especially when you're doing stuff, you get so caught up in the logistics and the funding and
Yeah.
the issues and the fires and all of that. And it just is like, why am I doing this? And then of course, the babies come and they tell you why, right? So when he said
Yeah.
that, I said, oh, this is my why.
Yeah.
And so feeling safe around me, feeling
Love
as
that.
though they can be themselves, feeling comforted, seeking comfort from me and knowledge, right? There might be things that they are interested in, but they, again, might not be comfortable asking other adults or their parents. And so, like, really getting that honest advice because I will only tell you the truth because
Right.
that's how my aunties brought me in. So I will
Right.
only tell you the truth, respectfully. But just being able to be that source of safety, I think is really important to me.
That's very powerful. And we all need that safe place. Oh my goodness. Even like as adults, right? That never gets old, having somewhere to go to be safe and be seen. Can you share with us a favorite moment or memory you have in your auntie journey?
Ooh, yeah. So one of my longest friends, I think we became best friends maybe in like first grade or something. So, Facebook is great for connecting people. So we had been connected on Facebook for several years, and I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago, she reached out to me because she has two teen daughters. Well, they were preteens. At the time, and they were really one of her daughters, her oldest, was really having trouble in school and had experienced what I would consider a traumatic event as an auntie because don't
Mhm.
play about them babies. So that was a traumatic event for her.
Yeah.
And so she asked me if I could mentor her, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm so busy. I'm crazy. I don't have no filter. I don't, we don't have no kids in this house, so we say everything." So I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you sure you want me?" She was like, "I want her to get exposed to positive influences. You're doing so much great." So I'm like, "Okay, okay, but here's my disclaimers." And so I ended up, we went on all of us went on a date together and had lunch and, got to warm up and, she approved me. She said, okay, I like this lady. So I ended up having a sleepover with her and her younger sister. And oh my goodness, that was so much fun. So they spent the day with me in community and volunteering. And then we went to lunch and then we came back home and we were talking and doing hair and doing TikTok dances and all of the fun stuff. And, during that time, she also was very vulnerable and shared with me in great detail about the traumatic experience that she had. And I, gave her every ounce of wisdom and experience. And, this is what will happen and this is what could happen. And you are not wrong. And, all of the things to make her help overcome that circumstance. But for me, I think that sticks out the most because it just wrapped all of the things that I view being an auntie all into one, example or experience. So that's my one.
I love that. I love that. Um, how do you see your role? And we kind of touched on this earlier to client. How do you see your role different than being the actual parent or even a friend?
I personally do my husband and I were on one accord, on the same page, no
Okay.
kids, okay? Not
Okay.
because we do not value and love the children. I love the babies, but I understand that that is a commitment
Yeah.
to consistency that I just don't have. I don't have in me. I don't have it, right? And so I think the difference is because I don't have to do it every single day all day, like the amazing parents that are out there. Kudos to the parents. I had the best. But it allows me to really like have concentrated impact, concentrated moments where I can just put everything that I have into that moment. Whereas, parents, because they have to do it so much, there might be that level of fatigue or, impatience and all of that that I don't experience because I know that there's a start and end time. This is a defined moment, whether it's weeks, months, or whatever. It's not all,
Uh,
21
yeah.
years or however long you want to talk about it. But so for me, I think part of the difference is knowing that, okay, if this is my time to shine, I got 5 minutes with this baby, I'm going to give it everything I got. We're going to do all of the fun stuff. We're going to learn as much as we can. I'm going to expose them to life and what, all of the wisdom and the tidbits that I have about overcoming things. So I think like that to me is one of the biggest differences when you think about not having that requirement of being consistently doing that thing every single day.
Absolutely. It is a different level of commitment. I totally agree with you on there. We have our time to shine, and then it's like, okay, here's the baby back.
Okay, here you go.
Here you go.
I see it's burnt out. We got nothing left. Need to recharge.
Absolutely. There is an off button. Yeah.
Hmm.
So our final question is just personally, what does it mean to you to be a part of the village, right? To be that extra layer of support, care, love, etc.
Um, to me, I view what I'm doing. So I'll just share a personal story. So I talked about my aunts, who were the best, and both of my aunts have passed. And so my mom's sister passed more recently, August of 2024, and this is her in here. I keep her with me every day. I still talk to her when I'm getting dressed. I'm like, hey, I'm going to this thing. Do you want to stay home or you want to come with me?
Oh,
Or what should I
wow.
wear? Like literally, she is with me all the time. We were extremely, extremely close. And so for me, it's not only about, doing something that I love and I'm passionate about, but it's also just returning that love and that energy that I receive from the greatest aunts in the world and doing my part to make sure that kids that didn't get to meet them or experience them can, still benefit from their legacy and the things that they left with me. I also think that there is so much that I have to offer, and it's right now, highly concentrated towards adults. And by me not having my own children,
Yes.
this allows me to also give back to our younger generation, our next generation of leaders and change makers, which is so very important. So I get energized from it. It is very, very motivating when you have those moments, even amidst all of the chaos and the fires, like I said, that are never ending. I said I'm running a switchboard operation right now,
Right.
24/7. But just those still moments where oh, I have something in me, a resource, a memory, a message in me that I can give to this young person. And even if it just sticks with one or two, hopefully more, because it's a lot of kids in this program,
Yeah.
it will be so meaningful to see them not have to go through life confused and lost. So,
I love that. Well, TeQuion, we appreciate you so much for reaching out. Thank you for your time this afternoon, and thank you for being an amazing auntie to the community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for doing this. I so appreciate all the work that you all are doing in our sector, and this campaign is genius. So keep it
Thank
going.
you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.